Final pilot briefing for Star Wars Squadrons before launch brought us information on stats, operations, rankings, and the leveling system that will be present in the game. It brought some interesting insight into how Motive plans to reward us for playing and keep us coming back for more. The first thing I need to explain is the operations, as this ties into the most important things I want to talk about. Operations are basically 8-week cycles. That's it. Every 8 weeks, one operation is replaced by the next, and a bunch of stuff like items and ranks and so on is reset or moved forward. Okay, now let's address the ranking system, since it seems to catch the most attention. First of all, the ranking applies to your fleet battle matches. The ranks you can achieve will only be obtained in fleet battles against real players as opposed to AI, and only after initially playing 10 of these ranked matches first. Your rank is different from your level and resets every operation. Your level is basically the linear progression that every multiplayer game has, and thus the gameplay affecting components are tied to it as expected. Anyways, back to ranks. They are in order: Maverick, Hotshot, Hero, Valiant, Legend, Galactic Ace. Within these ranks is 5 levels, simply named Rank 1 to Rank 5. So for example, you may achieve Valiant 3 or Legend 5 and so on. Matchmaking for competitive fleet battles against other players will be based on an average ranking of your squad. Where the, let's say, discussion is right now is the fact that you cannot drop in the main ranks of Maverick to Galactic Ace, but only in the sub-ranks of your different levels. The main argument here, for some reason, is apparently this means your rank isn't based on skill, but rather matches plays, because those never correlate, due to the fact that you cannot drop in the main ranks. My take? You can still drop rank. Just because it's a 2-tiered system and you can't drop in one, doesn't mean dropping in the other isn't a thing. The whole thing resets every operation anyhow, so I fail to see the outrage. What are you complaining about? Someone who reaches Galactic Ace 3 won't stay there for long if they don't play, and will even be reset back to square one if they really don't play. Even if the skill gap is more like a skill gulf, they still earn their way there, and they're not going to forget that large skill level in this scenario in under 8 weeks. If it's not about the skill and just keeping it competitive, then it can only be a tradition for tradition's sake, and it's not a solid argument just for this. Just because other games have 2-tiered naming systems for a 1-tiered ranking system doesn't make it the same thing. In summary, if skill is a huge factor in matchmaking, then the skill needed to achieve the competitive ranks will not be so easily forgotten, and certainly not enough to affect games. But even so, if we are really being pedantic about it, the fact that you can jump from rank 5 to rank 1 will be the best of the best will be playing against each other. However, if skill isn't a huge factor, then the permanent promotion won't matter at all. On to the next and final thing I want to talk about is the operation exclusive cosmetics. As that suggests, certain cosmetics will only be obtainable for completing a number of operational challenges, that being challenges only active for that particular operation. Motive do state that some of the cosmetics may be recycled for different operations. This is frustrating for 2 reasons. One more Squadrons focused and one more industry focused. Okay, reason 1. Obviously, there are people guaranteed to miss out on items no matter how many times the cosmetics roll around. There are tons of reasons not to be at your console or PC at certain times, and if those certain times coincide with a really dope cosmetic, sorry bucko, not for you. By excluding items from a store and making them a limited time achievement required unlock, you have effectively denied a customer a piece of the product they paid for. Even Battlefield 2's event skins are earnable by permanent milestones. Cosmetics may not affect gameplay, but they are still important elements. If they were not, they would not have been designed into the storefront or challenge front in the first place. So denying them to players who have other obligation is kinda sus. Reason 2, this is effectively a battle pass. Play the game, earn rewards, but only through a particular path. No choice with these rewards, and the only way to earn them is to level up either by playing the game normally or doing challenges. They're exclusive to this method. There is no freedom as they would be in a storefront, which does still require you to play the game but gives you the option as long as and earning of the storefront currencies can be accessed. So implementing a battle pass in your game, no matter how watered down, safe and good it is taking part in normalizing it across the industry. Make no mistake, if a Star Wars game does it, then mainstream and others will follow suit. Other studios are not so kind, however, charging you money to unlock, sometimes even more than one battle pass, deliberately dragging it out and putting the most wanted rewards at the end. They demand your attention and daily logins, and they use techniques that studies have shown is another way to trick you into spending more time and money on their storefronts. Remember when Activision Blizzard patented a matchmaking algorithm that was meant to frustrate you into spending money on microtransactions? And yes, of course, they also have an extreme waste of time and money that is a battle pass, and it's in the Call of Duty games, and it's only a waste because of how they design it. So, Squadrons Battle Pass takes the other industries and waters it down a lot, admittedly, but it's still based on the same psychological tricks meant to keep you logged in. By not releasing these cosmetics to its storefront, they're basically relying at least somewhat on their operation challenges to keep you coming back, which at the bare minimum means at least some, even if it is a tiny portion, of the reason to come back to the game is not based on gameplay itself, but rather because of a limited time event. In conclusion, I think the ranking system will be just fine, and the operations challenges, even though they are battle pass as challenges, are not that intrusive. However, if they could be added to the storefront later, I would be much happier. The release is not long now, and pretty much we know everything we need to know before launch. So I guess I'll see you all in the skies, pilots.